Buckeye. Notre Dame's ready. I like the Irish. Let's go Buckeyes! Ohio State, 24-10.
It looks like you lost another one.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Between the Lines College Football Podcast. Listen, week 4 was fun. I mean, if you're a Buckeye fan, it was definitely fun, right? Last play of the game, they came in, ran the ball with Chip Trayanum and won the game on the road against a top 10 opponent. Quality win. It was a lot of fun. Of course, Oregon took care of business against Colorado big time, which, if you watched last week, I said that was going to happen. So, just saying. What else happened? Big weekend. Florida State goes into overtime with Clemson. Look, I had that one on upset alert, and had he made that field goal, had Dabo Swinney not thrown a slant route on 4th and 1 in overtime, upset might have happened. Anyways, let's get into week 5. Look, these are the games that we got for the week. First up, we got Louisville versus NC State. Next, we got Utah going to Oregon State. Cincinnati travels to BYU. Texas A&M at Arkansas. Number 22, Florida at Kentucky. That one should be fun. Number 24, Kansas at number 3, Texas. Number 13, LSU goes to Ole Miss to take on the number 20 Rebels. South Carolina at Tennessee. Number 11, Notre Dame, coming off of that very close loss to Ohio State, travels to undefeated Duke. That one should be cool. West Virginia at TCU. All right, look, so let's get right into it, right? We'll start out with Louisville versus NC State. You remember I break these down into 10 categories with third down conversions, passing offense, passing defense, red zone offense, red zone defense, rushing defense, time of possession, total offense, and total defense. So let's pull up the chart for Louisville, NC State. Louisville at NC State. We'll go right down the list here. Third down conversions, Louisville, 54th. NC State, 16th. Passing offense, Louisville, 15th. NC State, 94th. Passing defense, Louisville, 94th. NC State, 56th. Red zone offense, Louisville, 43rd. NC State, 54th. Red zone defense, Louisville, 7th. NC State, 124th. So that's a big one right there, and it was part of the keys to win, and I'll get into that. Rushing offense, Louisville, number 5. NC State, 53rd. Rushing defense, Louisville, 44th. NC State, 43rd. Time of possession, Louisville, 46th. NC State, 30th. Total offense, Louisville, 5th. NC State, 77th. Total defense, Louisville, 64th. NC State, 43rd. So look, my keys to win for Louisville, and I know it's 5-5 on each side, but I picked these keys to win, and I think this is really what's going to do it. So they need to run the ball, right? I mean, the rushing offense is 5th in the country versus the 43rd rushing defense. So theoretically, they should be able to find some gaps and move the ball on the ground. If they're able to do that, then that number 15 passing offense should open up a little bit, right? They have the number 5 total offense. So going against that 43rd defense, again, they should have some opportunities to move the ball and score some points. The second key to win for them was force 4th down decisions in the red zone. So if you look at their red zone defense, they are 7th in the country to NC State's 54th on offense in the country. So if they get NC State down into the red zone, they need to force 4th downs to make NC State make decisions whether or not they want to kick a field goal or they want to risk it and go for it on 4th down. And then the last thing is if they can get that ground game going, it's going to open up the playbook for passing to get that 15th passing offense going. That's why I'm taking Louisville in this one. Next up, we got Utah going to Oregon State. I have this one as an upset, even though I don't really consider it an upset because they're pretty evenly matched and pretty close in rank. But let's go ahead and pull up the chart. So in third down conversions, Utah is ranked 91st to Oregon State's 38th. Passing offense, Utah 119th, Oregon State's 71st. Passing defense, Utah 57th, Oregon State's 105th. Red zone offense, Utah 79th, Oregon State is tied for first, but I think it's like 7 or 8 teams. Red zone defense, Utah 23rd, Oregon State 57th. Rushing offense, Utah 54th, Oregon State 9th. So they can run the ball. Rushing defense, Utah 3rd. They can defend the run. Oregon State 7th. So can they. Time of possession, Utah 4th. Time of possession for Oregon State 56th. Total offense for Utah 112th. Total offense for Oregon State 26th. Total defense for Utah top 10 right there at the top. Number 10. Total defense for Oregon State 45th. So here are my keys to win for Oregon State. 1, they need to run the ball. Right, they have the number 9 rushing offense going up against, granted, the number 3 rushing defense. So that should be a good battle. If they can win in the trenches and get the ground game going, then even though their offense is the 71st, I think they'll be able to open it up a little bit. Right, the key to win for Oregon State is shutting down the run to limit the passing game for Utah. Now, Utah is 54th in rushing offense, and again, Oregon State is 7th in rushing defense. So theoretically, they should be able to close down that run game. And Utah has the 119th ranked passing offense. So if they can close the run game and all they have left to do is pass, I think that Oregon State has a pretty good chance to take this one and maybe even run away with it. All right, moving on. Next up, we have Cincinnati traveling to BYU. Go ahead and pull up the chart on this one. On third down conversions, we have Cincinnati ranked at 53rd, BYU tied for 115th. Passing offense, Cincinnati 39th, BYU 48th. Passing defense, Cincinnati 72nd, BYU 40th. Red zone offense, Cincinnati 108th, BYU tied for first, again one of those 8 teams. Red zone defense, Cincinnati 107th, BYU 65th. Rushing offense, Cincinnati 14th, BYU 128th. Rushing defense, Cincinnati 36th, BYU 64th. Time of possession, Cincinnati 7th, BYU 93rd. Total offense, Cincinnati 14th, BYU 109th. So they're up there. And total defense, Cincinnati 49th, BYU 44th. So this one I have Cincinnati winning the game. And if you look on the left side, you'll see the keys to win are to force third down situations, because as you can see, BYU struggles on third down conversions. They're tied for 115th. So if Cincinnati can force them into those third down situations, they have a lot more opportunities to get the ball turned over to their offense. My second key to win for Cincinnati is I think that it's important that they have a good pass and run balance. Cincinnati has the 14th ranked rushing offense to BYU's 64th rushing defense. So if they can run the ball down BYU's throat, it's going to open up the pass game and ultimately lead to the win, which is why I picked Cincinnati. And then their third key to the victory is to win the time of possession battle. Obviously, if they can keep the ball longer, keep the ball out of BYU's hands, and just continue to execute and score, Cincinnati's going to run away with this one. All right, next up, we got Texas A&M at Arkansas. So this one should be fun. Maybe. Arkansas gave LSU a run for their money last week. I think Texas A&M has been playing pretty good, though. So let's go ahead and look at the chart. I picked Texas A&M in this one on third down conversions. They're ranked 24th in the country to Arkansas's 34th. Passing offense, 18th in the country to Arkansas's 70th. Passing defense, 16th to Arkansas's 75th. Red zone offense, Texas A&M 10th, Arkansas 14th. Red zone defense, 86th to Arkansas's 79th. Rushing offense, 72nd to Arkansas's 75th. Rushing defense, 38th to Arkansas's 21st. Time of possession, 65th to Arkansas's 14th. Total offense, 30th, Arkansas 76th. Total defense, 14th, Arkansas 41st. So if you look on the left side of the screen, you'll see that the keys to win for Texas A&M is win the line and force punts, establish the run to open up the playbook, and convert in the red zone. Right, because if you look at their red zone efficiency, they are 10th in the country on offense to the 79th red zone defense of Arkansas. So if they can convert in the red zone, just make sure to capitalize on all the opportunities to score points. I think Texas A&M leaves with the win. Next up, we have number 22, Florida, traveling to Kentucky. Let's go ahead and pull it up. So on third down conversions, Florida is 115th. Kentucky is 26th. Passing offense, Florida 55th. Kentucky 46th. Passing defense, Florida number 15 to Kentucky 61st. Red zone offense, tied for 37th. Red zone offense for Kentucky is 101st. Red zone defense 54th. Red zone defense for Kentucky 42nd. Rushing offense is 56th to Kentucky's 93rd. Rushing defense is 14th to Kentucky's 9th. So Kentucky can stuff the run. So that should be interesting to watch. Time of possession, Florida's number 6 to Kentucky's 110. Total offense, Florida 55, Kentucky 64. Total defense, Florida 5th, Kentucky 20th. So the keys to winning this one for Florida is to avoid third and long situations, win the time of possession battle, and force turnovers. And if they can force turnovers and keep giving the ball back to their offense, Florida runs away with this one. I got Florida winning it. Next up, I put this one on upset alert. I know I put Clemson on upset alert last week versus Florida State, and it didn't happen, but it was pretty damn close, right? I mean, all they had to do was make a field goal and Dabo Swinney not throw a slant route on 4th and 1 in overtime. I mean, that was just stupid. But it was pretty damn close. I'm going to put this one on upset alert, even though I know it is a stretch, especially with the spread being 17.5 points. But here, let's pull up the chart and I'll show you why. Third down conversions. Kansas is first on executing those to Texas' 93rd. Passing offense, Kansas 59th, Texas 36th. Passing defense, Kansas 47th, Texas 55th. Red zone offense, Kansas 11th, Texas 51st. Red zone defense, Kansas 121st, Texas 4th. Rushing offense, Kansas 12th, Texas 67th. Rushing defense, Kansas 25th, Texas 18th. Time of possession, Kansas 11th, Texas 103rd. Now that is also due to their quick strike abilities, so you can't really look at that one in this case. Total offense, Kansas 25th, Texas 43rd. Total defense, Kansas 21st, Texas 25th. So the keys to the win, as you can see on the left side for Kansas, is limit explosive plays through the air. Because as you can see, Texas has the better passing offense, but Kansas has the better passing defense. So if they can try to limit the explosive plays through the air and force Texas to run the ball with the 67th best rushing offense against the 25th rushing defense, I think it's going to pose some trouble for the Longhorns. Second thing is convert in the red zone. Right, you look at the red zone offense for Kansas, they're ranked number 11 to the red zone defense for Texas, which is 4th. Right, so it's not going to be easy to convert in the red zone, but that's the key to them getting this upset. Every time they get in the red zone, they have to convert. They have to get 6. They cannot settle for 3. They can't go for it on 4th down and not get it. And the third key to the win for them is establish the run and win the line of scrimmage. Now, winning the line of scrimmage is tough against Texas because, as you saw against Alabama, their defensive line is disgusting. Right, so Kansas has to try to win the line of scrimmage and establish the run so that way they can open up the pass. Got this one on upset alert. Keep an eye on that one. We'll see what happens, right? Next up, we have number 13 LSU goes to Ole Miss. Pull up the chart. Third down conversions, LSU ranks 5th. Ole Miss ranks 108th. Passing offense, LSU 11th. Ole Miss 13th. Passing defense, LSU 68th. Ole Miss 67th. Red zone offense, LSU 32nd. Ole Miss 90th. Red zone defense, LSU 108th. Ole Miss 74th. Rushing offense, LSU 36th. Ole Miss 77th. Rushing defense, LSU 67th. Ole Miss 57th. Time of possession, LSU 55th. Ole Miss 129th. Total offense, LSU 7th. Ole Miss 22nd. Total defense, LSU 66th. Ole Miss 61st. So the keys to win for LSU are establish the run to open up their pass game. They have the number 11 passing offense, so if they can get a run game going and get those receivers down the field and open, then they're going to take off. The second key to win for them is force third and long situations. Ole Miss is ranked 108th in the country on third down conversions, so if LSU can make them uncomfortable and put them in a position to where they have to convert on third and long, which is something they haven't been able to do all year, then it's going to keep the ball out of the Ole Miss offense's hand and into the LSU offensive hand. And then last but not least, limit explosive plays through the air. Ole Miss has the 13th best passing offense to the 68th passing defense of LSU. So if they can try to limit the explosive plays through the air and again force those third and long situations, then LSU is going to take this one. That's who I have winning it. All right, next up we have South Carolina at Tennessee. I took Tennessee in this one. Go ahead and pull up the chart and I'll show you why. Third down conversions. South Carolina 63rd, Tennessee 72nd. Passing offense, South Carolina 8th, Tennessee 73rd. Passing defense, South Carolina 126th to Tennessee's 36th. Red zone offense 56th for South Carolina, tied for 37th with Florida for Tennessee. Red zone defense 72nd, 40th for Tennessee. Rushing offense, again 126th for South Carolina. Rushing offense for Tennessee, 8th. Rushing defense 46th to the rushing defense of Tennessee, 42nd. Time of possession 98th for South Carolina to dead last, 130th for Tennessee. Now that could be a credit to just quick strike ability, so that's also something to keep in mind. Total offense for South Carolina is 53rd to Tennessee's 24th. Total defense 120th to Tennessee's 27th. So the keys to win here for Tennessee is establish the run, right? Because the rushing defense is the 46th rank in the country as far as South Carolina goes to the 8th ranked rushing offense of Tennessee. Pressure Spencer Rattler into making quick decisions because he's going to have to. Yes, they have the number 8 passing offense, but Tennessee has the 36th passing defense. And you know what South Carolina can't do? Run the ball. Look at their rushing offense, 126th. That means only 4 teams are worse than them running the ball. And then the last key to win is going to be to force fourth down decisions in the red zone. Make South Carolina uncomfortable. Don't let them convert on first, second, and third down when they get into the red zone. Put them on fourth down and make them choose between a field goal or going for it. Alright, next up we have probably the game of the week. Number 11 Notre Dame travels to number 17 Duke, fresh off of the loss to Ohio State. Let's go ahead and see how these two teams fare out. So as you can see, it looks like pretty much a mismatch on paper. Third down conversions, you have Notre Dame at 10th, Duke at 49th. Passing offense, Notre Dame 34th, Duke 86th. Passing defense, Notre Dame 6th, Duke 4th. Red zone offense, Notre Dame 40th, Duke 68th. Red zone defense, Notre Dame 10th, Duke they're 2nd. Rushing offense, 29th for Notre Dame, 27th for Duke. Rushing defense, 41st for Notre Dame, 68th for Duke. Time of possession, 44th for Notre Dame, 66th for Duke. Total offense, 20th for Notre Dame, 49th for Duke. Total defense, 7th for Notre Dame, and 16th for Duke. So the keys to win for Notre Dame, as you can see on the left side of your screen, is shut down the run to force the offense to throw. The reason I say that, just take a look at it. Their passing offense is 86th compared to their rushing offense, which is 27th. So if you can shut down that rushing offense and force them to throw the ball with their 86th passing offense against your 6th ranked passing defense, then they're going to have some problems. The second key to win is protect Sam Hartman and let him evaluate the defense. I don't know if you watched last week's game. I'm sure most of you did. It was probably the game of the week. But Sam Hartman, when he's comfortable back there and he doesn't have pressure on him, he reads the field so well. And a lot of that, of course, has to do with the experience that he has, how many snaps that he has. So as long as Notre Dame can protect him and give him time to evaluate the field, they're going to move the ball with no problem. And the third key is take the crowd out of the game. Take the Duke crowd out of the game. The crowd got to Clemson. That's why Clemson took an L. What they need to do is go out there and punch them in the mouth early, score big early, and just take the crowd out of it. Because as soon as you take the crowd out of it, then the game is in your hands. Alright, next up, last but not least, West Virginia versus TCU. Go ahead and pull up the chart. As you can see, I have TCU taking this one. Third down conversions, West Virginia 118th to TCU's 44th. Passing offense, West Virginia again 118th, TCU's 23rd. Passing defense, West Virginia's 43rd to TCU's 121st. So they get shredded through the air, which we saw with Colorado, right? Red zone offense, West Virginia's 89th to TCU's 110th. Red zone defense, 75th for West Virginia, 31st for TCU. Rushing offense, 40th for West Virginia, 19th for TCU. Rushing defense, 39th for West Virginia, 16th for TCU. Time of possession, 16th for West Virginia, 97th for TCU. Total offense, 95th for West Virginia, 12th for TCU. And total defense, 34th for West Virginia, and 80th for TCU. Now, I took TCU on this one. One is the home field advantage. But two, look at the keys to win here, right? So, shut down the run, forcing the offense to pass. So the rushing offense of West Virginia is 40th compared to the passing offense, which is 118th. So 118th passing offense versus 121st passing defense, right? Both of those are pretty bad. But TCU has the 16th best rushing defense against the 40th rushing offense of West Virginia. And then the last thing is to establish the run and win in the trenches. Establish the run and win in the trenches. West Virginia has the 39th best rushing defense to the 19th best rushing offense of TCU. So if they can establish the run early, it's going to control the time of possession, it's going to move the ball, and then it's going to open up their playbook to throw the ball downfield against that 43rd ranked passing defense. So that's it for this week. If you watched last week, then you know that we went 8-2. Probably should have gone 9-1, but Dabo Swinney throwing a slant, 4th and 1. Their kicker misses the field goal in regulation. I mean, it really should have been an upset on that upset alert. This week's upset alert, a little more of a stretch, but we're going to go ahead and throw it out there. So if it does happen, just remember where you heard it first.